For millions of years, deep in the bowels of the earth, something extraordinary has been forming. Not forged by human hands, but gifted by time, pressure, and the silent intelligence of nature. Shilajit is not merely a substance. It is a living testament to the evolutionary process of humification, a process so intricate, so vast in scale and time, that it remains one of nature's most mysterious masterpieces. It is born from the decomposition and transformation of ancient plant life, compacted beneath rock and ice, and metabolized by the earth into one of the most mineral-rich bioactive compounds known to man. Yet not all Shilajit is created equal, and very few have encountered its rarest form. In the highest reaches of the Himalayas, above 5,000 meters, beyond the snowlines where few dare to go, lies a concentrated vein of this sacred resin. For most of the year, the region is frozen inaccessible. Only during a short seasonal window, when the snow briefly recedes, can skilled collectors ascend to these remote altitudes and retrieve what is known as golden Shilajit. Its scarcity is inherent, the terrain unforgiving, the yield limited, and the effort monumental. This is why true Himalayan golden Shilajit is never cheap. It simply cannot be. Its value is encoded in its altitude, its purity, and its undeniable effect on the human body. There is a deep confusion in the world of humic substances. Many believe that fulvic acid, humic acid, and Shilajit are entirely separate elements. But this is a misconception. In truth, they are all part of the same natural spectrum known as humic substances, a family of ancient organic compounds formed through the process of humification. Within this spectrum, fulvic acid represents the smallest molecular fractions, highly bioavailable and potent. Humic acid, larger in size, offers grounding and systemic nourishment. Shilajit is the embodiment of both, a complete matrix of fulvic and humic fractions in perfect harmony. It is not a fragment, it is the whole. What truly distinguishes one Shilajit from another goes far beyond branding or origin stories. It comes down to the quality of the deposit itself. Deposits across the globe, from the Andes to the Altai, from the Caucasus to the Rocky Mountains, all hold varying degrees of mineral complexity. But it is the Himalayan deposits, particularly those formed at extreme altitudes, that contain the highest concentration of rare trace elements, ionic minerals, dibenzo-alpha-pyrones, and antioxidant compounds. The age of the biomass, the surrounding geology, and the environmental purity all converge to create something that is, quite literally, one of the Earth's most complete natural supplements. However, the tragedy of modern production lies in haste. Most of the Shilajit found in today's market has been cooked at high temperatures to accelerate its transformation from stone to resin. This process, while efficient, destroys much of its biological vitality. Furthermore, it is common for commercial resins to be adulterated, mixed with other substances to increase volume and reduce cost. These shortcuts result in a substance that bears the name Shilajit but lacks its essence. True Shilajit, real raw golden Shilajit, begins in stone form. It is collected by hand in reverence, from rock faces that pierce the sky. It is slowly sun-dried over weeks, filtered only with pure spring water and never exposed to industrial heat or solvents. This method takes longer, months instead of days, but it preserves the full spectrum of bioactive compounds in their most natural, bioavailable state. The result is a resin that is alive. You can feel it in the texture, taste it in its complexity, and experience it in your nervous system, your stamina, your cognition, your breath. This is not a supplement. It is Earth's memory, encoded in mineral language, a gift from the mountains, returned to the human body in its purest, most intelligent form. Shilajit is not a compound. It is a molecular intelligence, a symphony of primordial nutrients whispering the forgotten dialect of the Earth's cellular memory. Within a single drop of this golden resin, a universe resides. To access Shilajit is to traverse a living periodic table, not in isolation but in perfect orchestration. Let us go deeper, beyond what is visible, into the molecular microcosm. Each gram of raw Himalayan Shilajit contains more than 85 ionic minerals in their most bioavailable form. These are not synthetic isolates. They are organic, chelated, and colloidal minerals, meaning your cells recognize them, receive them, and absorb them effortlessly. Here lives magnesium, the grand conductor of over 300 enzymatic reactions, orchestrating muscle function, nervous system activity, mitochondrial energy, and DNA repair. It coexists with zinc, a pillar of the immune system and cellular communication, crucial for hormonal balance and tissue regeneration at the speed of life. And there is also iron, not the heavy metallic version that burdens the digestive system, but ionic iron, pure, light, ready to oxygenate your blood with intelligent precision. But minerals are just the beginning. Shilajit is a biochemical library, an extraordinarily complex matrix of fulvic and humic acids, acting not merely as carriers, but as intelligent transport systems. These organic acids bind to toxins, heavy metals, and waste, escorting them out of the body, while simultaneously binding to nutrients, guiding them into the very core of your cells. It is not random. It is selective transport, a molecular GPS that knows exactly where to go and what to leave behind. Then emerged the dibenzo alpha-pyrones, unique antioxidant compounds found almost exclusively in Shilajit. These rare molecules protect and regenerate the mitochondria, the energy factories of the body. They increase ATP production, reduce oxidative stress, and optimize cellular respiration. Put simply, they awaken your inner power plant. There is also a lesser-known dimension, a full spectrum of bioactive peptides, amino acids, polyphenols, and triterpenes, each playing a specific role in regeneration, hormonal balance, and immune intelligence. This is adaptogenic biochemistry at its highest expression. It does not overstimulate, it modulates. It does not force, it harmonizes. Shilajit also contains natural electrolytes, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, not only to hydrate but to maintain the electrical charge that fuels nerve signals and cellular voltage. The human body is not just chemical, it is electrical, and Shilajit feeds both systems simultaneously. Yet perhaps its most extraordinary feature is its synergistic intelligence. Each molecule knows how to communicate with the others. There is no chaos in its chemistry. Everything is relational, everything is encoded with order. The minerals are not isolated. They are held within a fulvic matrix, dynamically adapting to the biological terrain of each organism. This is why it is said that Shilajit does not heal, it restores communication between organs, between glands, between cells and the source. It is the missing biochemical link between Earth and human consciousness. The Shilajit collected from the highest reaches of the Himalayas contains this intelligence in its purest, undiluted form. It has never been boiled, never processed with alcohol, never fractured by machinery. Its molecular structure remains intact, untouched, alive. It is a nutritional landscape far beyond any multivitamin. It is the unedited nutritional fingerprint of the earth. What we hold in our hands is not a supplement. It is an ancestral algorithm, a multidimensional code written by nature herself, one that speaks fluently to our enzymes, our hormones, our neurons, our bones. A translator between the mineral kingdom and the human experience. This is not about quantity, it is about truth, about depth, about reconnecting with the molecular blueprint that once defined vitality. To understand the true power of Shilajit, we must first understand the difference between life-giving minerals and those that simply exist as inert matter. Shilajit contains minerals in a form that is often misunderstood and yet profoundly essential. These minerals are ionic, colloidal, and organic, words often used lightly, but here they mean everything. Ionic means that these minerals exist in a charged state, atoms or molecules with an electrical potential. In this form, they are ready to cross membranes, participate in enzymatic reactions, and communicate with the nervous system. Your body is electric, and ionic minerals are its native language. Colloidal means that these minerals are not dissolved like salt in water, nor isolated in a crystalline form. They are suspended in a natural solution, surrounded by fulvic acid, forming nano-sized mineral particles that your cells can absorb directly, without digestion, without conversion. It is the most efficient form of absorption nature has ever designed. Organic does not mean plant-based, it means carbon-bound, minerals that have interacted with living systems encoded within biological matrices. Minerals with context, structure, and cofactors. Not raw elements, but elements with purpose. And this is where Shilajit stands in radical contrast to synthetic, isolated mineral supplements. Take magnesium citrate, for example, one of the most commonly used supplements. While chemically correct, it is isolated, inorganic, and often poorly absorbed. The body perceives it as foreign, a fragment without context, and struggles to metabolize it without the synergistic cofactors nature would provide. Most of it is excreted, and what little is retained often triggers imbalances elsewhere. Now, consider the magnesium found in Shilajit. It exists in its natural ionic state, embedded within a humic matrix, accompanied by cofactors such as zinc, silica, and potassium, just as it would be found in fertile soil, wild plants, and the bloodstreams of mineral-rich creatures. Your cells recognize it instantly. There is no confusion. It does not simply enter the body, it integrates. This is the difference between consuming data and receiving wisdom. And among all these minerals, there is one almost no one speaks about, yet it is one of the most vital: silica. Shilajit is remarkably rich in this forgotten element. Silica does not seek the spotlight, but it is fundamental. It is the master conductor of calcium, essential for its transport, proper distribution, and metabolism. Without silica, calcium becomes a rogue mineral, accumulating in arteries, joints, and tissues where it does not belong. Today, millions overload their bodies with calcium, and yet their bones weaken, because calcium without silica is like a seed without soil. Silica in Shilajit not only guides calcium, it strengthens connective tissue, revitalizes the skin, rebuilds collagen, regenerates hair and nails, and contributes to the elasticity of arteries and cellular membranes. It is the mineral of resilience, and it is sorely lacking in most modern diets. This is why taking calcium in isolated form, as offered by conventional supplements, does not regenerate bones or strengthen the organism. It clogs it. Without the orchestra of cofactors, calcium cannot sing. But Shilajit is no soloist, it is a symphony. Each mineral exists in relational harmony, sustained, balanced, and delivered by the fulvic matrix. This matrix is the intelligent transporter, guiding each mineral to its exact receptor site, adapting dynamically to the unique biological terrain of every individual. It does not overload, it modulates. This is not supplementation. This is mineral intelligence. And it is alive. When you take Shilajit, you are not simply taking magnesium or silica or zinc. You are receiving them in their natural proportions, within a living context, embedded in a matrix that mirrors the intelligence of your own body. The result? Minerals that nourish rather than stimulate, that balance rather than dominate, that restore rather than override. This is the forgotten truth. And now that you understand what your body truly needs, no more fragments, no more imitations, we give you access to the irreplaceable, the finest Shilajit in the world, hand-harvested only once a year from sacred deposits that emerge at over 5,000 meters of altitude, where the atmosphere is thin, the snow eternal, and the earth still speaks in silence, a production limited by nature itself, raw, uncooked, free from steam, free from industrial heat, free from any alteration that would silence its living biology, filtered only with pure spring water, preserved in its most vital form, free from heavy metal traces, and bearing the highest mineral purity concentration available anywhere in the world. We do not say this as a promise, we state it as a certainty. Because there is nothing else like it, because nature does not repeat it, because this Shilajit is not manufactured, it is a gift. One that, after 7 years of exhaustive research and search, we are honored to finally bring to each and every one of you. Because you deserve it. You deserve the best Shilajit in the world.